Hi, Chris from London.
Hello.
Thank you guys for joining.
Hi, Kat. Thanks for joining us, also from UK.
Are we live? Yeah, Peter.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, would be great to check. Atang, are we live? Yeah, seems like we all
Peter's
ready to go.
You're getting a blank screen. Can everyone else still see us okay and hear us?
Okay, let me check 1 second. Okay, yes, we seems like we are.
Yeah, I'm just checking the main page.
Seems.
Yeah, there we are, our smiling faces. Okay, great. So, yeah, the chat is a bit. Oh, Red Hill, hello. Sorry, I know Red Hill. Hello, hello. Yeah, the chat's a bit delayed, I think. We've got some from Hampshire. Now it's coming through now. Bristol as well. Fantastic. All over. Do we have anyone joining us internationally, I wonder, from Europe or the US?
Yeah, I think we got someone probably from Italy that's joining. So,
well, our coach, who you'll see shortly, he's all the way in Palm Springs in California. So, okay,
so
I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, fantastic. Well, welcome to Human versus Machine, the live event. I'm your host, Nikki Brighton. Thanks for joining in with us this afternoon.
I'm Michael Coppola, co-founder and CEO of myAgentsAi. And before we jump into the live experiment, we want to give you a quick introduction of myAgentsAi. myAgentsAi is an AI talent development agent platform that is focused on helping managers with leadership practice, role play, and presentation practice. Our agents are embedded across the tech stack so they can really help managers across different applications before a meeting, before a presentation, and they are also organizational aware.
So really good if you're an accidental manager, maybe you don't have the experience or the skills and you've kind of been thrown in the deep end, it can really help you in that respect as well, which you'll see later on in the sessions.
Yeah, before we start, I want to also thank all the team that has been able to pull this together. It is a pretty challenging experiment, doing a live test with technology that is in beta. It is pretty challenging. So thank you very much, everyone. And
also want to give a big shout out to our backstage tech as well for making this possible. Atang, thank you so much for being there and running all this behind the scenes.
So to introduce the event is inspired to a match that organized by DeepMind in 2016, where AlphaGo famously defeated the world champions Lee Sedol at the board game Go. So we take that concept and we bring it to apply to talent development with coaching, with this coaching experiment. So we have established this experiment to effectively evaluate how AI and the human is handling high-stake role play during the session. So to see how they compare, we have selected 3 experts to judge both the human and the AI coaches on their ability to build trust, run realistic role play, and give feedback.
And by doing that, we've created a hypothetical scenario for our human coach and our AI to solve. And that's designed to mirror the real world pressures that managers, including accidental managers, face as they're trying to scale their teams.
So the scenario is focused on a manager called Jordan, whose team is growing really quickly, but they have an urgent need to set the culture right, and they are struggling also with a high-performing team member, Sam, who is great at their job but have a toxic during meeting, is interrupting others, is shutting down idea, is slowing down decision and teamwork.
And what we wanted to show with this test was how the AI coach could simply help that accidental manager, giving them ways to improve their communication and practice, rather than just kind of brushing it under the rug and avoiding the topic altogether, actually facing it head on and being able to deal with it in a confident manner.
So we're really looking forward to this experiment. We have been able to practice some refinement of our system, but it's really a live event. So we really feeling the pressure
Anything
of
can
the
happen.
event.
We don't know
Yeah.
who will come out on top. We don't know.
But before we start the session, we want to ask you a question. What is the single most important outcome you expect from a 20-minute coaching session? We have put together a live poll. If you can scan the QR code, that would be fantastic, and give your opinion on that would be great. So this is, for us, is really a way to gather feedback from you and you know, apply to our development. So we will give some time to do the pool for the event. For
just
this
let
question,
us know if it's,
yeah,
if it's
let us
working,
know.
and if the code is scanning okay, and you're able to answer. So you'll be able to see it, see the question, and see the answers.
I'm gonna,
and that should come through automatically,
try.
so that we can see. We're gonna experiment live and see if it's
working.
It should be working. We did test it. It's coming through. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Okay. 50-50 so far. A clear action plan, strategy aspect. Oh, no, it's gone down. Oh, wow. I love that it's like it's changing.
Yeah.
Changing like through
pretty
answer.
live.
Okay. Haven't got a clear winner yet.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. This is a fantastic insight for us. We will give a couple of minutes more to let everyone vote.
Yeah, while the answers come through.
Yeah, after that, we can go straight into our expert. We will introduce you to the expert of the session. We will wait a couple of minutes more for everyone for the
so we can see the results.
The poll.
Yeah. I think. Oh no, it's still going.
Still going. Still going.
Answering. It's looking like uncovering a blind spot is the favorite. Yeah. Great.
Okay, last couple of seconds, and then we can continue with the session. Actually, I didn't expect this. You?
I think blind spots are always things that you don't spot. So like having a second opinion and outside of yourself, objective is always a really good one, I think, and one that we can often miss. So yeah, I'm not completely surprised at all with that one.
Great. So so great. We can go and meet our expert. So Tang, if you can bring up our expert, we can introduce them. Evgenia Plaston, former Chief of Staff of EY's Global Technology Consulting Leader, and she's now fully focused on leadership and executive coaching. And Ioana Giordano, Director of International Center of Coaching and Mentoring Studies at Oxford Brookes Business School, and Alice Menietsky, organizational psychologist and also one of our experts. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Evgenia, do you want to give a quick introduction about yourself and your work also as a former Chief of Staff?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the introduction, Michael. So my name is Evgenia. It's been just over a week since I left Big Four. I'm just in a transition right now. So in the Big Four, I spent almost 10 years leading global transformations, working with the clients, external clients, internal clients, as well as holding various senior leadership roles. So my most recent role was the chief of staff to the EY Global Technology Consulting Leader. So what I've seen in the market recently in the industry is the rapid shift from AI as a productivity tool to AI as the decision-shaping partner, which makes human judgment, emotional intelligence, leadership presence more critical than ever. That's why it's really, really interesting to see the experiment today. I'm very excited to see how it turns out. So thank you for inviting me.
Thanks, Evgenia.
Thank you.
Joanna, you want to go next?
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me. So I'm primarily an academic. I've been researching and studying the discipline of coaching for about 15 years now, primarily focusing on ethics in coaching. And I spent a lot of my time training doctoral practitioners in coaching. I've got a different hat as well as the editor-in-chief of one of the main academic coaching journals. And at the moment, the main debate is what you're doing right now, artificial intelligence coaching versus human coaching. And so like Eugenia, I'm really excited to see what the outcome of this experiment will be.
Alice?
I'll finish. Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Alice. I have a PhD in organizational psychology and I currently work in HR consulting. So for me, I'm kind of the bridge, I guess, between, my other two fellow experts. So in my work, I focus mainly on talent assessment and development. And a big part of my work is exploring the interface between behavioral science and AI, particularly in selection and leadership development. So yeah, I'm really excited to be part of the event today with all of you. And I'm really excited to see how the AI will do in comparison to the human coach.
Alice, thank you very much. And thank you, all of you. We really, looking forward to see and really pleasure to have you for this event.
Yeah, so, to get your feedback as well on both sessions. Thank you.
So we can go and meet our...
So now it's time to introduce our human element to the coaching session. First of all, I'd like to welcome Eli Blair and then also Daniel Godfrey. He will be playing our accidental manager, coachee. And hello, hi guys, hi, I can see you now. Hello, if you'd like to just introduce yourselves both a little bit and about what your roles are going to be in this, that would be fantastic. Eli, if you want to go first, that would be fab.
Hi, everybody. My name is Eli Blair. I am an executive coach. I'm a master level certified coach here in California. I have coached now for about 15 years, 5,000 hours of coaching. However, there's no pressure today when we're looking with this in the AI, hardly any pressure, but let's see how we do. So nice to have all of you here today.
Thank you. And Daniel?
Hello, everyone. I've been acting now, or working generally for around about 6 years, TV and film, stunts in TV and film and commercials, as well as some presenting and other roles. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how I can be taught, or how Jordan can be taught by AI versus a human.
Daniel, can you give a bit of overview of the character that you are going to take today during the session?
Yeah, so he's a very nice boss, kind of overly nice. He doesn't really like, he's quite conflict avoidant, and although he's a great boss, he's all about the kind of the good vibes and everyone being happy. It is a negative a lot of the time because he doesn't really have the kind of hard talks. He's so afraid of not being liked by his staff that he doesn't say the things that need to be said, basically. So it's having a negative impact on the workforce, as you'll see with one of his particular staff members who is causing problems, and he doesn't really want to do the things he needs to solve the problem.
And that's something really tricky as well as a manager, because you've got to be able to lead your team and not let these sort of things happen. So that's why obviously coaching is so important to try and help with that. So fantastic. Thank you both.
Okay, so guys, when you are ready, so this part of the show is going to be dedicated to Eli and Daniel. They are going to have a live 20-minute session, coaching session between Daniel. There's going to be Jordan and Eli. So we are going to leave you the stage, Eli and Daniel. So when you're ready, we also are.
Yeah, take it away.
All right. Well, hi, Jordan. Great to have you here with me today.
Thanks, Eli. Good to meet you.
I want to let you know that everything we talk about is confidential, and this is a safe space. So definitely feel free to discuss whatever we want to discuss today to help support you. So Jordan, with that in mind, what would you like coaching on today?
The last kind of few months, I guess, there's one of our staff members, Sam, who's really just been having some issues with him. He's given other staff members a hard time. Kind of, his energy just isn't really sort of helping with the morale of the office. I mean, he's one of our best workers. He's one of our top performers. So, it's a hard situation, but I feel like he's also bringing down the performance of other staff members.
Yeah, thanks. When we think about this session today, what would be the outcome you'd like to have coming up in 20 minutes?
Really just find a solution, however that may come about. I just find it hard sometimes to kind of get across to him. He's quite a corrosive kind of personality, you could say. So I'm kind of just worried that by confronting him about it, that it can make things worse, or maybe worst case scenario, he might want to leave. But just generally, I'm just not quite sure how to how to approach it.
Right. So looking at how we can get a good approach for next steps. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start off. Where do you want to start to unpack this a little?
I mean, I could give an example. Like the other day in a meeting, although Sam was coming up with, some really good ideas, there was a couple of his colleagues who kind of halfway through giving, their take on it and giving their ideas, he just kind of shut them down completely and sort of dismissed the idea. And although the ideas, I did think they might not particularly work, the fact that he didn't even let them finish and, like I say, just interrupted them, I just thought it was really out of order. And like I say, that's one of the reasons it's bringing down the morale of the team. And just, the working environment, it just feels very awkward. And I just kind of feel like I'm concentrating on mediating everyone and trying to sort of, diffuse the bomb that is potentially Sam. And not really focusing on other things that I should be doing as a manager.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. As a manager, and you talk about things you should be doing, what's that been looking like to date with this situation?
So, really, I should be the forefront of, the ideas and, really the client relations and everything else. And although, of course, all of our staff members, they have great ideas as well, and that's why we get together and we have meetings very often, every day or every couple of days to discuss how things are going. Like I say, I've recently just been kind of, my own HR department trying to just basically make sure that everyone's kind of kept happy, because I can tell that there's quite a few disgruntled people, in the group.
Yeah. I hear the idea of keeping everyone happy. And yet at the same time, I'm curious, what have you done in regards to Sam as the leader?
Probably not as much as I should have. I kind of, I'll be honest, like I say, I've been trying to just keep sort of everybody happy, but I guess more so because he is, you know, our top performer. I've been sort of just trying not to push back too much against Sam, and I think, you know, really some of the times that he has interrupted people, I should have maybe just put a stop to it straight away and said, please let them finish, and get their idea across, and then obviously you'll have, you know, your time to put across your own ideas. But I guess I've been a bit too passive in letting the behavior continue over the last couple of months.
Yeah, I heard that. When we think about passive, what's going on for you?
Like I say, I'm trying to just keep everything running smoothly. And, you know, overall the results, you know, we're doing great as a company. And, you know, I've not actually had any direct complaints from people. So I guess really I've sort of buried my head in the sand a little bit. And I've just thought, well, everything's, you know, overall it seems like it's running well, but I just feel like it's only a matter of time before, you know, other employees aren't happy and they come to me with complaints, or possibly they even leave. And I'm obviously worried that if I am too confrontational with Sam, then again, that he might possibly leave, or that his results will, you know, go down or have a negative impact on them. And you know, also because we're growing very fast, and there's new staff members joining all the time, that potentially when they join, if they're kind of joining into this, you know, if they think that this is the norm, then, you know, I just don't want that kind of, you know, I don't want that kind of behavior to be kind of like the, you know, the company's like policy, and for them to think that that's okay, you know.
Yeah, something you said resonated with me when you said, I'm putting my head in the sand and haven't been confronting this. What is the cost by not confronting this to you, the team, and the business?
So just that it's continuing, the behavior is continuing, and like I say, although overall the business is growing, you know, we've had our last 2 quarters have been our best ever. So like I say, I've kind of been taking the stand of if it's not broke, don't fix it. But then, like I say, I feel like, you know, although there is growth and although everything is ticking along okay, I just think that maybe if it was to continue, that, you know, that wouldn't be the case. And then, you know, all of a sudden, I just think that there's a lot of relationships between the staff members that can potentially be sort of severed and broken. And if suddenly, you know, people who we've had for 7 or 8 years with us are leaving because of this behavior, then, you know, suddenly we're not on the upward trajectory, and things aren't going as well as they should.
Right. So what we are hearing is something is up here. It's not running smoothly, correct?
Yeah. Like I say, the results overall, you know, everything seems to be good. But like I say, I mean, I can tell in the meetings that people are unhappy, and as I would be, you know, if I was giving an idea and I was not only interrupted, but pretty much my idea was completely dismissed.
Yeah.
Then it would make me feel kind of personally attacked, and you know, I wouldn't be massively happy with how, you know, how it was all being run. And I think the fact that obviously I don't speak up in those times, I think maybe the employees feel underrepresented as well by me.
Daniel, what's the culture you want to be setting as you're scaling the business for your team?
Just one that everyone's helpful. Everyone, you know, gives ideas and helps one another, and, you know, really everyone's just working in a nice, kind environment where everyone can have success, do a good job whilst enjoying themselves, because, you know, ultimately that's going to give the most longevity to the company. And you know, I really just I want everyone to be happy anyway, because, you know, it's sometimes these guys are in for, you know, 10 hours of the day, and, you know, they're working weekends, and if they're not happy, then that's a large proportion of their life that they're they're not happy. So, you know, I just
Yeah.
really want to get along and to have a good time and to, you know, make money and you know, get good results.
So when we think about this culture and what you're looking to achieve, how does Sam know this? And what have you done to have a conversation with Sam about this?
So to be honest, I haven't really brought it up yet to him. So yeah, I'm aware that's really not good.
Yeah.
And I should have had a talk with him, but no, I haven't actually specifically told him the problem. So I'm sure he kind of realizes retrospectively, but I don't know, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, I think there's this idea of I want everyone to be happy, and yet I'm curious, what's holding you back from having an honest feedback conversation with Sam?
I'm just kind of worried that if I push back against him, that, you know, he'll, you know, lose respect for me. He might not like me anymore. And you know, what worst case scenario would be him leaving, which I feel is probably, it's quite unlikely. But like I say, I've always had a problem with kind of tackling conflict like head on, you know. And you know, I feel like it would be the way he is with people. I just feel like it would be a very abrasive conversation, and I just feel like it wouldn't end well. So I've really just been putting it off, and just hoping that it would get better. You know, I thought it was a temporary thing, but
yeah, it's showing up that it's not temporary and that it's going to. What do you need your role to be as the leader here?
So, you know, I'm really, I need to make sure that, you know, everybody is happy, but then I need to realize that one person being, you know, temporarily unhappy with what I'm saying, you know, for the good of our other 100 employees, you know, it obviously needs to be done. And, you know, my role ultimately is to make sure that everyone's working hard, enjoying themselves, and the company's growing. Yeah.
Would you be willing to have a conversation with him, a direct conversation?
Yeah, I feel like it needs to be done. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say this. Let's say you were having a conversation with Sam and you were providing him with feedback. I want you to finish this sentence for me. Hey, Sam, my intention today is fill in the blank.
To try and get to the bottom of why recently you've been quite abrasive and blunt with your colleagues, and why they recently that are not feeling very heard or supported by you.
Yeah, so there's the idea of bringing the conversation directly to him. When we think about this conversation, what would great look like at the end of this conversation for you and him?
Well, really, for me, ideally that he would understand what he's been doing and how it's been negatively impacting his colleagues and myself. And I guess for him, you know, a similar thing, really, just that maybe he will actually see, because I guess, you know, when you're in your own thoughts, it's hard to really consider others. And, you know, he does have a lot of great ideas. Like I say, he is he's really a top performer. And so I guess maybe he's, you know, he's so caught up in his own ideas, of which he does have a lot of great ones, that he doesn't quite realize how rude he is being or blunt he is with other people. So I hope that he would realize that actually, yeah, he is being quite unfair to other people, and that he could just change a couple of things. And you know, he might not realize quite how unhappy he's making some of the other employees.
Yeah, absolutely. A great question could be, how do you think you're showing up in meetings? How do you think it affects other folks in the room? And then being able to share with him your observations. Yeah. I know you want everyone to be happy, but when you look at these meetings, are you currently happy right now?
Overall, no. I'm quite on edge whenever we meet, because I kind of know what's going to happen, or know what has happened. most of the time. And so, like I say, I'm just kind of, just trying to help everyone to get their ideas across. But like I say, I really need to do a better job of making sure that he's not interrupting people and being quite so blunt with everyone, you know.
Yeah, Jordan, what do you need to let go of that's not serving you?
Just really, I guess I need to not, I need to be more worried about being respected and being respected and liked, and really just worrying more about the good of everyone working under me than necessarily how I personally feel.
Yeah, that's pretty big. So, Jordan, what's your takeaway today?
That I need to kind of, stop burying my head in the sand and not worry about being necessarily liked by everyone, and just to have the hard conversations that I need to have in order to make everything run better and for, let's say, kind of the larger majority of the workforce to be happy.
Yeah. And actually, when you have those direct feedback conversations, often people respect you more. So definitely, how do you feel in your body right now as we talk about this moving forward?
The thought of confronting him gives me quite a tight chest, to be honest. But I kind of feel a lot more, I know what I need to do, and so it's a good feeling that I think I've come to terms in my head now what needs to be done, no matter how hard it is or will be. I know what I need to do, and I feel like it will help to positively resolve the situation.
Awesome. Do you feel like we came to a good conclusion based on what our topic was today?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Well, just know I'm here to support you. And as you go through the conversation, pre, during, or after, I'm here to be helpful for you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Eli. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Dan, can you bring us back? Yeah, thank you very much, guys. It was impressive. Well done, both of you.
Yeah.
I think
a powerful session.
Yeah, really powerful session. And we're gonna just give the expert a couple of minutes for finalizing their voting. And stay until the end so we can show you the final result between Eli and the AI. This is Eli versus the AI.
Eli versus the AI.
But before jumping into the next session, you can, we want to...
Yes, before we go into the next part, we actually want to ask our audience, you lovely people who are tuning in, another question, just based on what you've seen between that coaching session with Daniel, aka Jordan, and Eli as the human coach. How confident are you that our coachee Daniel / Jordan knows what he's going to do next? How confident are you that he knows exactly what he's got to do next when he goes back to the office?
Yeah, again, now if you can scan the QR code, Atang, you can bring up the screen, full screen, so the audience can scan the QR code, and we can see the audience result live. Yeah, the voting is between 0 and 5, right? Yeah, between 1 and 5.
So 1 is not very confident and 5 is very confident.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a bit of time for to vote. I'm gonna test if.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, we've got some more coming through. Oh, Claire's just asked. Yes, Claire, the session is being recorded, so you will have access to it afterwards. So no worries if you have to dip out.
Yeah, But Claire, stay, because we are gonna go straight into the session with AI. That is the most exciting part.
Yeah.
So a couple of more minutes.
5 is high.
Yeah.
And 1 is low.
So the question again, if you didn't vote yet, how confident are you that the coachee knows exactly what to do next in base of the session that we have done? Hopefully you have been paying attention, because it was really impressive. Eli have done a fantastic job on coaching Daniel. But let's wait a couple of more minutes and then we can go to the next step. Okay, I think seems like everyone is on their voting. So, and now it is the live session with our AI coaching agent Maya. So let's bring on the stage Daniel and our AI agent Maya. Daniel, you are back.
Just to check, do I need to record my screen or do I just switch to the AI?
You have to share the screen. Just share this. Your screen. Share the screen. So there is a present button in the chat there. You can present and share the screen where you have our avatar.
On the actual AI, on the AI screen. Where is that? On the settings button or?
Let's.
Sorry, I thought it was last time we recorded from
It
here.
is the same things that we have done during our test. So you have to present. Yeah, in StreamYard there is a present button.
It's a plus button, I believe.
Yes. Present. A big present button in the center. You share your screen. There will be a Windows, and then you. Yeah,
perfect. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Right.
Here we go.
Do I need to refresh it because the AI is no longer there?
Yeah, refresh the page.
Yeah.
Here we go. Wait a second, and then you can press the mic button when we are ready to start.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So we are now ready to start. Daniel, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So good luck. Yeah, and see you in a bit. We leave you the stage so you can press the button when you're ready to start.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hi, Jordan. I am your AI coaching avatar, Maya. How can I help you today?
Hi, Maya. So I've been having some issues with one of my employees, Sam. He's very abrasive with his colleagues and has been really bringing down the morale of our meetings.
Hi, Jordan. Thanks for sharing that. Just to reassure you, everything we discuss here is completely confidential, so please feel safe to share openly. To get us started, can you walk me through a specific recent example of Sam's abrasive behavior?
So recently in a meeting, 2 of our colleagues were sharing their ideas and he just completely interrupted them and very bluntly said that those ideas wouldn't work and then continued to tell us more about what he thought we should do.
Thanks for that example, Jordan. How is Sam's behavior affecting the rest of your team?
I haven't had any complaints specifically, but I just can see the looks in people's faces that they're getting very unhappy and they don't feel very heard.
Got it, Jordan. Thanks for sharing that observation. How is Sam's behavior affecting the rest of your team day to day?
Well, their performance is still very good and the company is growing, but I just feel like it's only a matter of time before it does negatively affect people's performance, or people maybe even leave, worst case scenario, because they just aren't happy with how things are running. And also that the new starters may feel like this is the norm, and then the bad habits may rub off on them.
Thanks for that insight, Jordan. What's been holding you back from addressing Sam's behavior directly so far?
I just feel like maybe by confronting him about it, that we'll lose our good relationship we have. He may not like me, and he may even get worse, and possibly that results will dwindle because, as I said, he's one of our top performers.
Thanks for sharing that, Jordan. Let me make sure I have this right. Sam delivers great results, but his behavior in meetings, interrupting and dismissing others' ideas, is hurting team morale. You've held back from addressing it because you're worried about losing a top performer and potentially damaging your relationship. Sound accurate?
Yes, that sounds accurate.
Okay, here's the thing. Understanding the problem is the easy part. The actual conversation is where it gets hard. Let's practice right now. I'll play Sam. You start the conversation. Be direct about the behavior, but supportive of his value. Ready when you are?
Hi, Sam. Thank you for meeting with me today. I just wanted to run by a couple of things by you. I feel like recently there's been a couple of our colleagues who have been unhappy with you kind of interrupting their ideas, and being quite blunt in your delivery when doing so.
As Sam. Look, I get that people might feel that way, but honestly, if I didn't speak up like that, nothing would get done. I'm here to make sure we hit our goals, and sometimes that means cutting through the fluff. What's the real issue here?
Well, I feel like we can still reach our goals and that your ideas will still be taken on board, but you can listen to other people's ideas still, because ultimately everyone is as important as each other in this company, and we all want to grow and learn and get better together.
As Sam, I'm not sure what you mean. Can you be more specific about what you want me to do differently? I'm not here to play nice if it slows things down.
Well, there's playing nice, and then there's actually interrupting people and stopping them from getting their ideas across. I mean, don't get me wrong, you have fantastic ideas and you're a great performer and you're great at what you do, but it doesn't mean to say that you can't let other people have their say, because other people may be getting to a good idea, but you don't quite let them get there.
As Sam, look, I only speak up like this because I'm worried nothing gets done. I see people wasting time going around in circles, and I just want to cut through to what really matters. It's frustrating to me when meetings drag on without results.
Yeah, I know. I understand that it can feel like that to you sometimes, but we really need to make sure that everybody in the company has a voice, and we just can't be interrupting them and stopping them from putting their point across.
As Sam, yeah, I get that. I don't want to be the guy who ruins the vibe, but I also want to be sure we're moving forward. I'll try to be more mindful, but I hope you understand I'm doing this because I care about the outcomes.
Yeah, no, I understand, and I appreciate how well you work and the great ideas that you have. But thank you for understanding, and I appreciate that we can. I hope that we can move forward with this, and that everyone can be happier in the working environment.
As Sam, okay, I appreciate you saying that. I want to keep delivering, and if this helps the team, I'm willing to give it a shot. Just keep me in the loop if you think I'm slipping. Okay, let's pause the role play here. How did that feel?
Yeah, that was good. It felt hard to pretend to confront him initially, but no, I feel like we reached a good outcome, and it felt good to practice what I'll say to him.
Thanks for sharing that, Jordan. The diagnostic. One strong moment was when you acknowledged Sam's value and performance before addressing the behavior. This helped keep the conversation balanced and showed respect for his contributions. The strategic shift. By combining direct feedback with genuine appreciation, you helped reduce defensiveness and opened space for Sam to explain his motivations. This approach increases the chance of real behavior change. The rewrite. Instead of saying, I feel like recently there's been a couple of our colleagues who have been unhappy with you interrupting their ideas, you might try, I've noticed that in some meetings, interruptions happen, and I want to understand your perspective on how we can make sure everyone feels heard while still moving efficiently. How do you see it? When will you have this real conversation?
I'll make sure that I schedule a meeting with Sam in the next couple of days.
Thanks for sharing that, Jordan. Just to clarify, what has been holding you back from addressing Sam's behavior directly until now?
I thought I'd cut that off there, just so I felt that we were going back on
Thanks,
around to the same
Daniel.
questions.
Thank you very much.
No
It
problem.
was fantastic. I think we can ask.
Yeah, it's a very different approach to the last session, but really fascinating to see the comparisons when we go to the final results, which we are going to go to very soon. But before we go to the experts' comments and those results, taking into account the sessions that you've just seen and then both at work, have a think on this question we're putting out to you guys in the audience. In your opinion, to take the AI agent to the next level, is there any capabilities that you'd like to see implemented? You know, how do you think it could improve? What sorts of capabilities could be implemented? And again, it's a poll, so if you scan the QR code, it should come up and you'll see the different answers.
Yeah, also feel free to comment in the chat.
Yeah.
What do you think about the session? We will go into really shortly into the result from the expert and their comment on both two of the session. So we will have a bit of time to discuss about what went well, what need to be improved on both the human and especially also the AI. Mm-hmm. One thing that I want to clarify that is really important is that we are at myAgentsAi, we do not want to replace human coaches, but we want to support the 83% of the organization that are not supported with the coaching, because this is statistically the reality. Coaching has provided to the top 17% of the organization, CEO or leaders, but the other part of the organization are not helped. So let's see, what do you think about for this poll? What do you think, Sneaky?
My opinion on what the AI needs.
Yeah.
I would say I mean, it's neck and neck at the moment with deeper empathy. I definitely say, a level of empathy that just wasn't there compared with Eli. Obviously being a human, it's got the edge on that. And yeah, the realism of the voice, I think it could be more intonation, just a bit more naturalistic, you know. But there was some great points in the strategy that the AI used, and a lot of clarity, but maybe some simplifying of certain descriptions would have helped as well. I think that Eli, he asked very specific questions, but also allowed more space, I think, for Daniel/Jordan to kind of find his own way. So yeah, there's just some little thoughts of mine.
Great. We can wait a couple of more minutes, but thank you very much for sharing your feedback. Are really valuable for us, so we can really focus on improving our system. But before we jump into the expert judges, and I want to give you just a second, sorry. Before we go into the final score, we have launched our beta version of our application. So if anyone want to try the application for free, please reach out to me directly, or you can comment access in the chat, so we can reach out directly to you to give you a free trial. We want to remember that we also have a 50% discount only for this month. So you will have a free trial for and then after that a 50% off from the subscription if you sign up until this month. So please let me know if you are ready to try our application. Yeah, we wait a couple of minutes. Let's give
There's some great comments coming through, actually. I can see.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, let's have a look. Scroll down a bit so I can just. So we've got Ashley. Thank you very much for your point. Again, she's saying that the AI voice and length of pauses. Dawn saying the AI coach needs to bring more of itself to the coaching conversation. Adem as well has made some great points. Hope I've pronounced your name correctly. Yeah, thank you. It's really valuable feedback just to see, you know, as humans, how you interpret the AI versus the human, which is quite different still at this stage. It's not quite at the level where it feels completely human yet.
So thank you very much, everyone, for your feedback and comment. And
the
now
we've all been waiting for, which is the final score, the final results.
Yeah, we can go into the final score and bring back our experts so they can have their commentary, and we will then show also their voting.
Yeah. Welcome back. We'll bring them back to the stage. Great.
Yeah, you can bring them. Okay, so Joanna, do you want to have your comment on both sessions?
Yes, of course. And can I just say huge congratulations to both Eli and Daniel. I think the performance was fantastic, but also I hadn't experienced that type of AI coaching before, and I was actually impressed. So very well done to you for creating this. So I've got lots of notes, but I'll try to keep it short. And if you want me to expand, I will. The one I focused on in both cases, because I compared with the AI, is that concept of rapport. I felt that Eli was outstanding in the rapport he's created, even though both people were on the screen. We could see him nodding, we could see him smiling, we could see him being very serious, moving forward sometimes to pay more attention. And you know, to me, that's really important if you want to have a discussion that clearly is quite difficult, as Jordan was relating. That was lacking with respect to the AI coach, who's just obviously it's AI. There was, as we said, lack of empathy, that warmth, that rapport. I didn't see it there. And I'm not saying this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because in some cases this really helps. She went straight to the point. Okay, let's actually role play, which was fantastic. She generated some really great questions. I do feel that some assumptions were made about how constructive Sam is in getting feedback. Sam's answers in the role play were great, but there's a possibility that Sam could be socially awkward, that Sam could just not be a nice person, that he's neurodivergent. So I'm not really sure whether that role play eventually will help Jordan just like that, just on its own. But I think the questions that the AI coach asked were spot on, to the point. Still, I felt that Eli was, well, surprise, surprise, a lot more humane. In fact, I was impressed by everything that was covered in 20 minutes, from setting the scene, sorting out the problem, just focusing on the emotional state of the coachee as well, and eventually leaving the session with an outcome. And actually, when you asked the audience the question, how confident do you feel that he will follow through and he will deal with it, I was surprised. I think it was 3. I was going to have it at least 4. So both 2 completely different sessions. For me, the AI raised the question, as an academic, what is coaching? Because we don't actually have an agreed definition. And to me, it felt more like it will be a fantastic tool to enhance the human coaching. So I would love to be using the AI agent before and after my session to help with my reflections or practicing how I'm going to deal, creating a strategy. But I need that human element of warmth, of trust, of rapport to just push me a little bit as a person. Not everyone is like that. This is how I am. So thank you for involving me in this. I'll stop here and I'm happy to expand.
Thank you very much, Joanna. I wanna Atang, could you please share the screen so we also see the result on the screen while we have any comment? Okay, so coaching, yeah. Alice, if you wanna, your comment, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to repeat anything that was said before, because I agree basically with all of the points raised. First of all, I also have to say, generally, I was very impressed with both conversations. Specifically with Eli, I think that it was very nice. He kind of, also set the tone in the beginning. He was very warm, set the psychological safety very early, by explicitly really stating confidentiality. So I like that a lot. And I noted also down that he used a lot of these open exploratory questions, strong active listening. I honestly, just by watching it, felt drawn kind of to him. I felt like he had this warmth, just this atmosphere that he set to open up. Lots of paraphrasing, reflecting together, really staying with what Jordan was actually saying, or Daniel in the sense. A personal highlight for me was the pivot from the external situation to the internal experience with the question, what's happening inside you? Because I felt like it was true, and that was spot on from Eli, because Jordan was focused on Sam and the team, and was just kind of like bringing all these examples. And that question brought him really back to the internal, let's say, the internal monologue, what's happening inside of him, the why, which is basically where the leverage is. And additionally, there was one moment when he said, it's not running smoothly, which I think was also another really good indicator, let's say, for the trust that they already had built, because I feel like it might be a bit strong in front of the coachee to say this, because it's not running smoothly. It's kind of like a little bit of a judgment in there. However, I felt it was very attuned to the coachee's vibe, and it helped to move things forward much quicker. So yeah, I mean, very impressive conversation. I really enjoyed it. The report, I could feel it through the screen, which was a great experience. Looking at the AI coach at Maya, of course, she also, matched safety step with a confidentiality statement. And she also, from the beginning, brought a very clear structure. So asking for concrete examples and then immediately kind of like exploring the impact on the team. So you could also really find this exploratory vibe that she was giving. So, you know, when information was missing, she rephrased rather than moving on too fast. I think that was even when she kind of like looked at what's been holding you back, what's happening, what's the impact. She kind of like rephrased questions there when I guess there wasn't enough information. And I think that was particularly useful because she really tried to also surface blockers and not just events. I like that. And she also summarized frequently, which makes sense because obviously the AI has a lot of, you know, like memory, you know, and can kind of just like bring back that memory and in order to really summarize and have a thorough summary. And I think that kind of helped to keep the clarity and also momentum and allowed actually for the role play practice to happen. Because looking at, let's say, the role play that was being played in front of us, I think it felt somewhat natural in the second conversation. In the first conversation, we didn't have it in the same manner, but I think that was also okay. Like it you know, the nature of both conversations were slightly different. So I enjoyed the role play practice. I would agree that I'm not sure how much this particular practice helped now. Maybe a couple of different role plays could have played out because we obviously don't know how Sam is going to show up in reality. So therefore, having the role play practice is I think, very important tool that you could do with the AI coach in general. So yeah, overall, I'd say Eli really excelled at the depth of the conversation and the attunement. But then on the other hand, Maya really excelled also at structure and really translating certain insights into practice. And I think, and I agree with that the opportunity is kind of combining both, you know, because it can be such a great tool, even for coaches to practice, to do role plays, to really see, okay, like what questions are important to ask, what's the insight that I want to gather. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Evgenia, you want to have your thought?
Sure, thank you. And it's going to be very hard to go after Joanna and Alice because they both covered it really nicely. So I'm going to, you know, I don't want to repeat myself, but I'm going to echo a lot of what they said. So first of all, that was really impressive, really, really impressive, because as Joanna, I have not seen AI coaches as a video picture before. Like I've seen the chat, but I haven't seen the video, and that's actually very different. I wouldn't say that AI coach is there with building the rapport and facial expressions and all, but still it's an amazing, amazing progress. So if you look at comparison of Eli and the session that Eli held and AI session, they're very different, but they're both great, I'd say. It's just they would serve different purpose. So when Eli ran his session, first of all, yes, building the trust, building the confidentiality, then immediately asking what does his client want to get out of the session, which AI coach didn't do. So he was asking, what do we want to get out? Where do you want to be by the end of the session, which is very important. And then really using his body language, reflecting his facial expressions, reflecting the words as well. We're really building the rapport. You can see the client was feeling more relaxed, starting to chat more, not just going by the script, but really starting to engage in the conversation. And then, yes, the role play was not there, but there was a lot of exploration around how Sam would react and how he could build and why he is not building this discussion yet. So I think from the human coach perspective, we would look at this session as it would be more helpful if we want to deep dive into values and purpose and what's holding you back as a person from, you know, having certain like difficult discussions or engaging in different situations. Whereas AI coach was incredible. The questions were super precise, super sharp, going by the book. To Joanna's point is like what coaching is, like literally going a very like precise coaching questions, really, really good. But because the rapport was not there, the emotional connection was not there. It felt more like solving the problem in the moment rather than exploring what's holding you back and how you can develop going forward. Actually, with the role play, I really liked it. I think I hear you, Alice and Ioana. I hear that Sam might behave in a different way in a real life situation. But to be honest, if you're really, really struggling with having this discussion, even role playing and assuming that person can respond in this way actually can loosen you up, and you can feel, oh, I'm more ready to have a real discussion because I already tried it. So I think it was actually very good. So I think in terms of the outcome, if I'm thinking from the company perspective, from the leadership perspective, if I were still in my leadership role, I would actually use the AI coach for like a manager level or more junior people who need to resolve the situation on the spot really quickly. Like they're struggling, they need answers, and they need to talk to somebody or something to understand what they could do next. And I would use the human coach for a longer term work for the senior leaders to understand their values, what's driving them, what's the purpose, how they can develop as leaders going forward. So I think it's a two different usage, but both can be very valuable in the professional environment.
That's really, really valuable. Yeah, thank you very much. Nikki, do you have some comment on both of the session?
I think I made most of my kind of initial gut comments earlier, very much align with what you've all said. I think with Eli's, it's more like a long-term, kind of more humanistic, empathetic kind of coaching, which is allowing the coachee to have that self-discovery more and look at, why perhaps they are worried to embrace that conversation, the difficult conversation. Whereas with the AI, it was much more practical, straight to the point. And as you've so rightly said, Evgenia, it's that practical applicability in the moment for the employee, more junior employees. They just need that answer. They need to go straight in and solve that there and then. And maybe they're not able to access the coach, and they can access the AI platform instead, but then have the AI coach working alongside the human coach for greater depth and that more holistic approach. So I definitely think there's that alignment. There's that, co-creation element there rather than just one or the other. I think they very much are symbiotic.
Thank you very much, everyone. Do you have any other comment, Peter? Some way to get in all the score in a single chart for each of the
Oh, he's asking for the judges on a single from each judge on a single chart, so you can see the clear separation of what each judge has scored.
No, we can separate them, but we can't do
it right now, but we can
we can send it over as well,
yeah.
all the data from the experiment. So thank you very much for everyone for your time and for this exciting experiment. I'm particularly excited to see the result as well. I think it is a good step for also what we want to achieve with our application. We are excited to see the opportunity that we can give to employees that are now at the moment not supported, and our application can give to employee. But Tang, can you bring everyone in the stages so we can say goodbye to everyone? And then want to ask last thing.
Yes, so we also just wanted to ask what you felt worked well in the sessions, what didn't, and also in this live, and any ideas that we could improve, because we're planning on running more of these, and any feedback would be great so that we can give you more of what you want to see and hear, basically.
Yeah, Atang, if you can bring up the screen so we can ask for any additional feedback, that would be great. So in the meantime, we can also say goodbye to everyone and close the session. You can keep up, Atang, also everyone else. Yeah, if you can please share. Can you now share the screen, Atang? Sorry. Atang, can you share the screen with the feedback? Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. So last thing, if you have any additional feedback, both on the coaching live session and also with our live stream, please let us know.
And also, Peter's asking, Daniel, we'd love to know what you thought. What are your thoughts? Like, what did you feel in both sessions? How did you feel going through those two? It'd be great to get your viewpoint on that.
So I feel like the AI was kind of a lot more to the point. So it kind of, I guess you could potentially say it's more efficient in like getting to the absolute root of it. But then it did it obviously with Eli. There wasn't like an understanding and like a development to when we actually had the conversation. Like, it was good to have the conversation straight away. It was kind of nice to be like, well, I'm literally going straight into practice what I will say. But obviously with Eli, there was way more like understanding and coaching towards like the kind of root of the problem, how I felt about it, how everyone else felt about it, and therefore what I would, you know, more having the tools to have the conversation with the actual person, as opposed to kind of going straight into the role play. And although the role play was helpful to do that straight away, there's clearly a lot more understanding from the human kind of getting to, or Eli, I should say, sorry, the human. Yeah, there's a lot more help to kind of understand everything. But I did like the way that the AI is very efficient, and kind of got to the point very quickly of like exactly how it could be done, you know.
Thanks, Daniel. That's great. Yeah, really, really good comparison points there.
Eli, what's your thought also on this comparison with both of the session? Would be great to know your thought.
Yeah, thank you everyone for the feedback. It was really great to hear the panel and their feedback, and I agree with everybody. What I thought was really interesting was, as a coach, where I was going to, what's going on with Daniel as a leader that he's not providing feedback, and how does the leader get more in touch with Sam to see what's going on and why he's showing up with that, right? That's where I was going. Now, the AI, what I really liked, you're right, the AI was quicker, and I did like that the AI did the role play. Now, you're right, we don't know who Sam is, but at least it gets the leader's mouth around providing the feedback, right? Getting him at least sort of comfortable, because in this case, Jordan, I only want to be liked. That's my thing. But as a leader, as a scaling group, you know, you have to start thinking about boundaries and what you need for the team. So I do think there's a huge case to have an AI coach. I also think you're right when we say, Michael, like at senior leaders, it's awesome to have that live coach. But also when you have line leaders who are going through it and moving at a fast pace, this is a great tool as an ancillary tool to help move leaders go quicker who might not have the time to get to the root. I just need something quick. So I think what I really have always firmly believed as an executive coach, the AI is my partner, right? It is my partner. It's not always going to get to the root of the problem, but it can definitely provide great support. And I use that all the time. So I think it's a great experiment. So thanks to all of you.
Guys, thank you very much. Thanks, Eli, for your comment. Everyone, it's been fantastic. Nikki, you have anything to close? Any final thoughts you want to close?
I thought it was wonderful. I really, it was great to see it, you know, the comparisons like live, and I didn't really know exactly what to expect, but I did think that I did think that you would be more empathetic, Eli, but I wasn't sure how the AI was going to perform. So for me, I'm taking away a lot of insight from those two. But yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much again, everyone. And I want to thanks, before we close in, all our team, including our CTO, Matteo, Arunav, AI lead developer, Pujan, our full stack developer, and everyone involved, and all our advisors that help us to achieve this fantastic live event. We are aiming to run more of this kind of event. What do you think? Shall we do another one? Guys? Yeah? Yeah, right?
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank
everyone.
you so much for all of your time. We really appreciate it. And thank you also to our audience for joining us and for participating in our polls and giving your feedback. It makes it really interactive, and it just makes it much more interesting for everyone. And we're giving you more of what you'd like to see and hear. So thank you.
Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.